you send out that email, you want to create an event that inspires people to want to share your event with their friends. And you know, I live here in Long Beach. This event was happening in Seattle. And if I had received this email, you bet I would have shared this on my Facebook. You know why? My friends would have got a kick out of this, right? They would have laughed. It would have been entertaining. They would have loved it. So here's what happens. On Facebook, when you share your email, it actually puts a link of the email out there. And when somebody clicks on that link, then they get to see the entire email. And it's a beautiful email, and it's got its own separate web page. So that's what happens when you share it in social media. So there's lots of different ways to connect with people, and we've talked about newsletters a whole lot. That's one way you can use emails. And if you are going to do a newsletter, make sure that you use the 80-20 rule, which is 80% educational and 20% promotional. So be careful not to be too salesy in your emails. And then you can do promotions. You can promote upcoming events. You can promote a sale. You can have coupons. You can invite them to something. You can send out a survey. And then a whole nother type of email is a thank you email. What after they purchase from you, or a follow-up after an appointment, or a happy holidays or a happy birthday. All of those deepen relationships. So think about how you could use those as well and mix them throughout the year. So here's an example of a Valentine's Day email. This was in San Pedro. And here's a St. Patrick's email. And this is a restaurant that was doing the Valentine's Day email. And this is a pet shop doing the St. Patrick's Day email. So if you're perplexed or you're wondering what email should I send this month and you don't know what to send, there's a holiday almost in every month of the year now, right? So you can use that to your benefit. And after they've had an appointment with you, that's a great idea to send them a follow-up email. Here's a day spa. After you go and get your massage, within 24 hours you receive a thank you email from them. And they say, oh, we know you just had a massage, so remember to drink lots of water. And if you're sore, you can take a salt bath. So they're giving you tips on how to continue to care for yourself. Oh, and by the way, here's a coupon for 15% off your next visit if you book right now. Pretty smart, right? When they send this follow-up email, look at their open rate. It's almost 60% because they're segmenting that list. So segmenting is very, very powerful, and it's a way for you to give them exactly what they want. And here's an example of segmentation. This is the Kitchen Warehouse, and they do two types of emails. This is the first type where they send to homeowners, and it tells you about different things that you could do to your home and tips and ideas. But they have a second type that goes to the contractors who actually do the work. So it's a different type of communication, and they're not putting them both together in one email, right? When you segment your list and you send exactly what they want, you're looking at 7 times the average open rate, and you're looking at 14 times the average click-through rate for your emails. So find out what it is your customers really want and see if you can just send an email that's just all about that subject matter. How often to send your emails? So let me ask you, should you send an email every day? No, that's too much, right? But I gotta tell you, I ran into a business the other day and he said, I send a daily email and I get a 30% open rate. And I said, no way, can't be, I don't believe it. And I said, what do? You've got to tell me. And he said, I own a deli downtown, and when you come into my deli, there's a fishbowl, and it says, find out what the daily special is. And you put your business card in there, and he emails you at 10:30 every morning to tell you what the specials are for the day. Pretty smart, right? He doesn't include anything else. It's just a very simple email. So he's telling you what to eat for lunch. Very smart. But for the rest of us, we probably don't want to send a daily email, right? When it comes to how often you should send your email, there's a couple things you want to keep in mind. How often do they purchase from you, and how well do they know you, right? So if I purchase from you once a year, then maybe a monthly email is a good amount to send me. But if I visit your spa a couple times a month, then I want to hear from you more frequently, maybe on a weekly basis. And you can test this as well. So the other thing is, when should you be sending these emails? Well, we want you to send when they're most likely to open the emails. So here's some things to keep in mind. We see higher open rates on middle of the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. So here's what I'll tell you. If your open rate is not where you want it to be, remember, average is about 20 to 22%, and if you're below average, this is a great place to start with changes to increase your open rate. But if your open rate's like 40% and you send on Sunday afternoons, I'm going to tell you don't change it, right? Because it's working for you. You might want to test something down the road, but if things are going well, then keep that frequency going and that day of the week when you're sending. And the other thing is, we want you to have some goals, and then we want you to do a little bit of planning. And this doesn't have to be super slick. This can be really simple, like just getting a free calendar that you get in the mail and ripping out all the months of the year and spreading it out on a table. And then you know what's happening that year for your business, right? So you're going to probably have an event or launch a new product, or there's a couple of holidays. And now really quickly, just go color code some dates and say, you know what, I'm going to do my monthly newsletter on the second Wednesday of every month. Okay, so now you know that's when your deadline is. That's when you want to get that out the door. And then you could say, you know what, I want to do a birthday greeting for all the January birthdays, all the February. So once a month, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do it the second day of every month. So now you know, okay, I'm going to do those things every month. You've got it on your calendar and you know it's coming up. And then if you have an event that's coming a couple months out, you can put together a save the date and then an invitation. And then as the event gets closer, reminders, right? So you're looking at the entire year all at once, or 6 months if the year is too much. But we want you to put together a plan so that you're not doing this on your vacation time. Because you've got to take a vacation, you work really hard, right? Yeah.